Mike, thanks for having me on your entrepreneur driven podcast. And today, as you said, we want to talk about men in their 40s and some of the challenges that they're having, common ones with their body, with their health, with even the stress of chronic disease starting to show up in their life. No guy wants to show up in their mid 40s to the doctor and have the doctor say, hey, you your A1C's up, your belly line. I've told you for years you need to lose weight and your blood pressure's up, and we need to start dealing with medicine and start medicating you. And nobody wants that. Now, here are 10 common issues that most guys are dealing with and face in their 40s. Slower metabolism and weight gain. Lean muscle mass decreases at age 30, 40, and even more rapidly as we get into our older age. That means our metabolism is slowing down and body fat, belly fat all starts to accumulate and it's harder to lose and it's easier to gain. Number 2 is the loss of muscle mass. It's called sarcopenia. Without strength training, men lose muscle each year. And that's where the slower metabolism starts to do, and it keeps accelerating. Whether it's you aren't strength training, you're not actually working out and progressive overload. So many guys go to the gym and they just don't lose weight. That is a big challenge. They don't change their body. They literally, you'll see someone from one end of the year, that New Year's resolution, all the way to the other end, the holiday season that shows up in November, December, they look the same. And so without actively strength training appropriately, nothing changes and they actually could be losing muscle along the way. Number 3 is declining testosterone. Hormone change, your energies change, your libido changes, unfortunately. That drive isn't there anymore. Fat distribution starts changing. We start to see it more around that waistline, even more so, or maybe in the chest. No guy wants to have man boobs at the very end. Now, energy crashes and fatigue. So stress is mounting. The amount of responsibility 40s and men in their 50s have to deal with, from their career, their family responsibilities, children, the ever never ending, feels like the demand of money is always there, right? Kids, my oldest is 16. He wants a car and he wants to have a nice car and a fast car and all this stuff. That costs money, right? There's poor sleep, right? Guys just get restless. They wake up in the middle of the night thinking about issues of business, of lifestyle, of poor health, that doctor visit that didn't go well. Blood sugar crashes, they swing through the day, the midday slumps, the constant need for caffeine and coffee, usually with sugar as well, or energy drinks. For the love, people are drinking way too many energy drinks. Number 5, joint pain, stiffness, knees, back, oh, my back, my shoulder. I try to stay in a healthy, fit body and be active, but even I'm dealing with things. My left calf is a little tweaked. My left shoulder isn't liking me right now. I'm not bench pressing. I'm doing Smith machine presses or dumbbell presses so I can control body weight and movement quite a bit more. Stiffness. I get up and I get to the hot tub every morning. Fortunately have a hot tub. My wife decided to get one a couple years ago during the COVID time. That was a blessing. I wake up, I get out to the hot tub, I warm up the old, I say. That helps loosen up my body. I stretch in there, and that's a really good way. Now, if someone's been sitting at a desk all day, they just have chronic levels of stress and tightness happening in their bodies as well. And that adds up over time. That forward positioning, the rounding of the shoulders, those are things that create a lot more joint pain, neck pain. It's not fun. Number 6, we've got slower recovery time. Oh my gosh, you just wake up and you're sore. It takes longer to recover. Your workouts can't be as intense. You have to warm up longer, cool down after it. And in the beginning, my 16-year-old, he did a triathlon this weekend. I don't think he really warmed up. he may have swung his arms a little bit and off he went. And he did really well. He placed ninth overall, which is just incredible. Swam 0.9 miles, biked 25, and did a 10K run. So men in their 40s are dealing with longer recovery cycles. And if you get injured, for the love, count you out for 4 to 6 weeks minimum. And if you go to the doctor, they're going to tell you need to take an extra 6+ weeks off. And I always suggest that guys need to go find some more productive means of recovery, finding a actual therapist or a person that knows what they're doing in terms of body maintenance and management with that. Number 7 is cardiovascular risk. Cholesterol is going up, or risk of cholesterol is there. You could be a walking heart attack and you don't even know it. Basically, from the last 10 to 15 years of just poor eating habits, that adds up. And if your cholesterol, say, is under 200, we're good. But if it's closer to 240, that's the line of high cholesterol, and your doctor's going to put you on meds. And for the love, I've seen so many guys in their 40s at 250, 280, they are walking heart attacks, especially if they have 20 plus pounds on their waistline. And the amount of visceral fat, that's the fat that's inside around the organs, the stuff that you don't necessarily see, but you might feel. You have that really hard stomach. That's not good. Blood pressure. You go 120 over 80 is normal, but it might be higher, and that's a big challenge. Your doctor is starting to run EKGs on you, or wants to put you on stress tests every year. If you are getting those requests from your doctor, that's a big issue. We've got sleep, number 8. Sleep problems, whether it is stress, you're not even allowing yourself enough time in bed. If you want to sleep 8 hours, you need 8.5 hours minimum of bedtime, in a sense of your body laying in bed. Then men stress and cope with alcohol or food, and that might cause restless sleep as well. There's weight gain over there. Sleep apnea is on the rise, and if you're overweight, you're even more susceptible to it. You don't have to be overweight to have sleep apnea. It's a matter of how your tongue sits in your mouth and your throat, causing a disrupted airway, and you just don't get deep sleep. Number 9, and that is stress and cortisol overload. What this means is that all these responsibilities are stacking. I feel it and I take good care of myself, but I have a family of 6 and 4 cats and a dog. There's lots of responsibilities on me that no one ever knows about. No one has ever scooped my dog's poop. Just me for 3 years. And the above ground pool that we have for a COVID thing when our kids were younger, I absolutely love having that and seeing my kids playing it, but they play in it less because they're just not that interested. And now the water is actually cold. Whereas when they were 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in that range, it didn't matter what the temperature of the water was. They were way more likely to get in. So I get to take care of this pool and they swim in it less. And there's obviously time and financial responsibilities keeping the pool clear and clean. So that is just something else on my to-do list that I have to manage. And if you are in overload from having deadlines at work, having to make payroll, overwhelmed with the peopling that has to happen at the office because you have a large amount of people underneath you, whether it's your employees or your coworkers that you're managing, those things add up. And that stress and cortisol is just going through your body, creating inflammation, and it's even creating a desire for you to actually want more sugar, more carbs. We have number 10, we have inconsistent training. You're actually get tired at the end of the work, and it's a real excuse in a sense. You carve out time to work out and get scheduled over, whether it's a boss meeting, a coworker meeting, your wife meeting, or your kids interrupt you. And oftentimes, if you don't work out in that sliver of time before work, after work, or in the middle of the day, kiss it goodbye. You're just not going to do it. And that's the problem. We have inconsistency. And then if your work is heavy desk and you just don't move a lot, then that multiplies the impact of not taking care of yourself. I love 10K steps a day. I think that's a really good amount for most guys to be doing. But if you can't do it, it ends up being really hard. So staying consistent is so important. And this ultimately leads to lack of progress, setbacks, and even possibly injuries because you're not training on any significant level. So those are 10 things that guys in their 40s are dealing with right now, and it's a problem, and it's just going to multiply going into their 50th birthday if they don't find solutions for these common issues.